So let's get started for tonight. So tonight is my Friday folds, once a month on the fourth Friday of each month. And the fold tonight that I'm going to show you is actually on the inside of the card. Okay, let me see. I think my iPad might be up. Nope, it's still working. So this is meant to be a get well card. That's why I said it was perfect timing for allergy season right now. And when you open the card, we've got the little tissue going on here in the pocket. When you open the card, there's a little tissue box on the inside too. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that. So the stamp set I'm using is Beautiful You, which comes in 2 cases. This stamp set carried over into the new catalog, which I'm so happy about. And we're using the Wishing You Brighter Days to Come. That's all we're using from this stamp set. And then I'm using the dies that go with the Pocket Full of Sunshine. I'm using the pocket die, and I've already gone ahead and cut the pocket out. And then these are the rest of the dies. This is also another set that carried over into the annual catalog, so this will still be available on June 1st. So let me show you all the layers that we need tonight. There's quite a few. Now I'm using different colors because I'm using designer paper that retires on May 31st. And I only had a little bit of this paper left, and I can't even remember what it's called. I didn't write it down. So I'm going to coordinate this sheet. So I'm using Pink Pirouette, which is also retiring on May 31st. This is 11 by 4 1/4, scored at 5 1/2. Let me move this over so you guys can see the measurements. Perfect Plum, which is also retiring on May 31st. This is 4 inches by 5 1/4. I hope you guys can hear me because I cannot tell if you're there. My iPad does not want to seem to come on, and I'm hoping the thunderstorm is not going to mess up my internet connection. This is Whisper White for layer number 3. Let me see, that's 5 inches by 3 3/4. For the inside, I'm using 10 1/2 by 4, scored at 5 1/4. And then I have Whisper White for stamping. I'm trying to see if I can see you guys on my phone here. It looks like you guys are still there, so it looks like I'm still on. Now, 2 more pieces of designer paper. So we've got the pocket that's already cut out, and then 4 inches by 1 inch, 3 inches by 2 inch, and scored in the center at 1 inch. So let me move. Now what we're going to do is do the inside, the outside of the card first, and then I'll show you how to score and cut for the inside of the card. So I'm going to fold my cardstock in half on the score line. And then I'm going to glue the Perfect Plum. I don't know why I can't see you guys. It upsets me that I can't see what you're saying to me. So hi everyone. Going to add the Whisper White. So the front has 3 layers. And then we're going to go ahead and glue the pocket in place. And I'm going to use tear and tape. Now these are already scored for me. So I'm going to fold over 4 pieces for the tabs. This pocket die I have seen used in so many different ways. So many things you can do with it. So I'm going to add 4 pieces of the tear and tape. And I'm going to show you what I do with my tape. It's a little bit wider than what you see here that's folded over. And I don't want the edge of the adhesive to stick out here because then it would glue my pocket and I need that extra room. So when I take off the backing, it's sticking out on the outside edges a little bit. And what I'm going to do is just roll that over. That way there won't be an excessive amount sticking out on your card. Okay, I'm going to roll that over also. I'll have to go back and read your comments once my video is done. I just hope everything is good on your end, that you can hear everything. Okay, now I'm going to glue this in place. Now what I did, I wanted some room to be able to stuff the tissue in there. So I'm gluing the bottom. Make sure it's nice and centered and straight. And then when I glue my sides, I'm actually going to push it in a little bit towards the inside because I want to get a little bit of a hump to make that pocket. So you can see here that I've got room there to stuff my tissue in there. Now for the tissue, what I did is I ripped a piece going across to save for the inside. And then I'm going to fold the edges over just a bit. And I'm going to stuff that in there with my bone folder. I don't even have to glue it in because it's tight enough. And then you can just play with it till you're happy with the way it looks. Okay, so there's my tissue. Now I'm going to stamp. And I forget to tell you, I'm using Old Olive ink. So there's my sentiment. The punches I'm using for today are the Classic Label Punch and the Everyday Label Punch. Those are also carrying over into the annual catalog. Okay, now I'm going to glue this in place with Stampin' Dimensionals. I hope you guys are having fun because I can't see you, I can't talk to you. Glue that in the front. And then for the bow, I'm using this is Old Olive, and it's the sheer ribbon. This is also carrying over to the new catalog. I've already made my bow. I've got the glue dot on there, and then I'm just going to add just a little bit of glue on top of that. I always do that twice just to make sure that my bow is going to stay intact. Okay, so that's the front. We've got that done already. Now we're going to work on the inside. So I'm going to bring in the white, fold the cardstock over. Now the way that this works, this is 1 inch and 1 inch. So I need to cut, or not cut, I need to score and 1/2 inch from the edge. So I'm going to cut on the back side, and I'm going to place my score line on the 1 inch, bring my scoring tool to 1/2 inch, and go to 3.5. And I'll show you what that looks like. So you have 1/2 inch on both sides. Now I'm going to flip this over and do the same thing. Place it on the 1 inch, 1/2 inch to 3.5. I'm going to show you a little tip I have on my scoring tool too. Sometimes these numbers are hard to read. What I've done with mine is I've cut a 1/4 inch piece of Whisper White cardstock, and I glued it to the underside of my numbers so that you can read. See how you can see the white peeking through? And it just makes it a lot easier to read your numbers when you're trying to score like that. Okay, now we need to do some cutting. I'm going to move this over 1/2 inch to the right, and I'm going to find my score line, and that's where I cut it. I'm going to do the same thing here, move it at 1/2 inch, and cut to my score line. And that's it for the cutting. Now we need to go in opposite directions when we're gluing this. So this is going to fold towards me, and these two are going to fold back like that. Now, one thing we need to do, I have a little hole here for my Kleenex tissue to go through. I've gone ahead and cut a Post-it note measuring 1 inch by 3 inches. And what I did is I took a pencil and drew a line in the center here. And then I cut a pattern because I want, in order for this to work, I'm going to put this on so I can explain as I go. You can't just cut through one layer. So we're going to have to cut through both layers. And it doesn't matter because the designer paper is going to cover the other hole. So this way you know that you're right in the center of your little Kleenex box. Now we're going to do the same thing with the designer paper. Now this one here we're going to cover. And this one is going to go at the top because we still need to have a hole to put the tissue through. I hope that makes sense. Come on. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to glue that in place. Remove the Post-it note. Okay, I'm also going to go ahead and glue my tissue in place because it's going to be hard once you have the whole thing glued there and on the inside. So I'm going to bring in some glue dots. I went a little crooked on mine, but I think the tissue will cover it anyway. Okay, so now I'm going to fold this in half like that. I'm going to stuff it inside, and then I'm going to fold it so that it glues on both sides. And now you have your little tissue box. Isn't that cute? So that's going to go like that. Now we just need to glue it in place. I hope you guys are still there. I think I can still see you on my phone. My phone is facing upwards, so it's hard for me to look. Okay, now I'm going to just fold this like that. And I'm going to bring this in. Now the one with the tissue needs to go towards the top. And it's easier if you position this where you want it. And then push this down, closed. And now we just need to pop our little Kleenex box. Now I'm going to fold it down, and then when you open it, there's your Kleenex box. See how it's folding? And my last step is to add the little piece of designer paper. I didn't add a sentiment yet because depending on who I would send this to. And there you go, that's it. So we have two different pattern papers, two little tissue boxes, and then two little pockets on the front. Now I need to stick this in a little bit more. So I probably would go ahead and add just a few glue dots once I am happy with the way this sits. And there you go. How's that for a cute little card fold? Isn't that neat? So I hope you guys will try this, and I hope you'll show me what you made in the comments section. And again, I will go back and review all of your comments once I can get on. And a reminder that I will be stamping live again on Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Oh, thanks for all the love, you guys. I can see the little hearts going through my phone. And let's see, on Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, I'll be creating a cute Father's Day card. And I'm actually using the pocket die again. So I will see you guys on Sunday. And thanks so much for stopping in to visit today. Have a good Memorial Day weekend.